What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Clashing Conferences Network. We're here with a really special episode tonight. I'm really excited. I know these guys are really excited. We're going to be talking some March Madness. It is just a couple days away for us from the first games dropping on Thursday, and when you see this, I think games will be in action. So get ready for a lot of March Madness talk this episode. Before we get to it, want to shout out to our sponsors, Sparrow Hair Studios in Lancaster, PA. If you're in the area, please stop by and see Lean. If you become a Clashing Conferences member, you can get a discount. So all you got to do is go to theclashingconferences.com. There's a nice little link in the page there you can fill out. And next thing you know, you can be on this members podcast with us talking about the next big thing in sports. Also want to give a shout out to Lotwin. Rep your team with a custom 3D printed hype chain from Lotwin. Big game, game day, or just showing out, these made to order chains bring the energy. Use code TCCPOD. It's the Clash and Conferences Pod, TCCPOD, for a 10% off, or grab one of our oversized chains on their website. We got specialized Clash and Conferences hype chains that you can get. There's links in the description. These things, I checked them out. I'm going to get one or two of these. They're pretty cheap. I've seen some people charging double for what these ones are going for. So I'm excited to get some myself. So all the sponsorships out of the way. I want to also one more special thing here. We got Randy. Welcome him into the members podcast for the first time, I think. Randy's been with us since day one on the NFC East football podcast, representing the Dallas Cowboys. He's going to jump in here and give us a little Canadian perspective on the March Madness Americana. Andy,
Well,
you said you got Wisconsin going all the way, right?
I do. Well, first of all, it's nice going to the podcast.
Let's go.
It's nice being on the podcast.
Episode.
And I'm actually getting some hype here right now. Paul's not talking about my double chins. Chris ain't running his mouth. This is like the best podcast so far I've ever been on. Win-win all the way around. But listen, guys, no, I mean, I don't know a whole lot about college basketball, not football, Mike. I don't know a whole lot about college basketball, but I messed around, butchered a bracket up. I didn't want to go with one of the big norms. I took Wisconsin at a number 3 seed going all the way off a strict gut. My 10-year-old son, who just literally went through and I said, which one do you like? Which one do you like? And we picked Wisconsin going all the way. Mike, how far do you got North Carolina going?
Oh, no more than a round or two. You
I
know,
got them. I got them at least beating the Sweet Six or the first game. I forget what it's called. The first game. I got them at least beating that, making their win tonight. First game, going on to the 32. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss this year. I really haven't followed it closely. A lot of the big teams that I like to see in it, Temple, Villanova, Pitt. We got a Pennsylvania teams. They're not even in it, which is another bonus. There's no Philadelphia teams, so I can't hate on any of them, which is actually a good thing. But no, all in all, I'm actually really looking forward to March Madness this year. As far as probably looking forward to watching the games most I've ever looked forward to watching them. So pretty excited. I know somehow you guys got two Kentucky fans in here. That seems a little bit of a cheat. One of you guys should probably have to take it. I don't know if you heard we have the wife team, but the girlfriend team. One of you guys should probably have to cheer for your girlfriend team. It's like the team that you like number 2.
There is no number.
Hey, Kentucky's women's team's a 3 seed too,
Yeah.
buddy. So we'll cheer them.
No. What I'm saying, in the NFC, when our teams would go out, we were going to the playoffs.
Well, you guys are used to that being a Dallas fan, so you're used to going
playoffs,
out a lot.
We made the playoffs quite a bit there, Sugar. Listen, no, how it was is when your team's out, you have to pick a team that's in the playoff, and that's your like side girlfriend.
St. John's.
St. John's. Okay.
St. John's.
St. John's is your girlfriend team. Well, there you go.
Yep, we're lined.
Hold on, are you guys both St. John's as your side girlfriend team?
Yeah. It's Patino.
No, it doesn't work. You guys got to pick separate side girlfriends.
Kentucky fans stay
and
together.
their
Oh
third
my God.
girlfriend team is probably Calipari squad.
Don't ever say
No,
that
okay,
again.
all right.
Oh my
Let's go.
Wow.
You guys are like way too connected on teams. You guys both hate whatever you just said, and you
Louisville.
both.
Don't even get us started on Loserville.
uh, I mean, is there anything you disagree with? Who's your
Hey,
football teams?
speaking of Louisville,
That's different.
I want to know which one of Cody and Kyle, which one of your family members is on the selection committee. They're the number 10 team in the country, and they got a
Oh
number 8
God.
seed in the tournament, which means
Who do
they're
they
ranked like
play?
30th.
Who do
They
they
went
play?
from 10th to 30th by the selection
Who do they
committee.
Look
play?
at their
I'm
strength of
just
schedule.
saying
I'll let
They
Cody
beat
answer it, but
Clemson, and they're
look at their
ranked
strength
3
of
seats
schedule.
below them.
Yeah. Who?
Kentucky beat them both.
Yeah. And when they faced competition, they lost. The only one they did beat that beat us was Clemson. Kudos. You can't beat Duke. We beat Duke. You can't beat us. Who do you play? Big East says no, or not Big East. Crap.
Okay,
ACC.
well, I was
It's all the
questioning
same,
that.
Cody.
I
It's all
knew
the
Yeah.
that
same.
one of the two of you, at least one of you, would have that answer for me.
Yeah.
Now that we got that out of the way, which one of you? Well, I think let's let Cody do it. You weren't with us last week, Cody. Kyle filled in, gave us the state of Kentucky report that you normally give every week. You're back this week. Go ahead and give it to us, and Kyle can help you out a little bit with it.
I think Kyle will agree. I think Butler coming back, hopefully, which I think all rumors lead to him coming back for the tournament. That's going to help because that horrible, horrible game against Bama, that hurt. But I think with him back, we'll have point guard presence, and I think it's time for a run. I do. I think March Madness. It's time for a run. I think we could do it. I
Cody,
Yeah,
think
you
that's
yeah.
Butler's defense is extremely underrated. His defense, you could tell without him against Bama, it really hurt them. When Bama went for like 3 straight alley-oops to start the game because they just got penetration in the lane, and that was it because Butler wasn't playing defense because he
and
wasn't on the court. So
Oway can only do so much. And I mean, I'm sorry, I like Perry, but he's not staying in front of that freshman guard. I forgot his name on Bama. I mean, he drove it down our throats.
you know what he looked like? He looked like remember Ryan Gosling and Remember the Titans, and where he was like, "I can't stick with him, coach. I can't stick with him." That's exactly what he looked like. That dude was just blowing right by him.
Oh
He was
yeah,
like, "Take me out. I can't stick with him."
it was
Kyle,
embarrassing.
Exactly what it looked like.
one of my favorite memes ever is it goes, girls can love Ryan Gosling all they want, but they can't forget that he was an absolute liability at cornerback in this championship game.
It is. I can't disagree. I think we're
I
good.
can't
I
wait
really
till
do. I
next
think
week if Kentucky loses in the first. Have you guys scouted this team at all? Because you didn't last year. They kind of came back to bite you in the butt. And like,
Yeah,
if you
me and
guys
Cody
lose
didn't
in the
scout the team
first
last year. That's
round,
why we
yeah,
lost.
that's what it was. We didn't scout.
well, you gotta plan for the guy to shoot a million threes in your face.
Well, yeah, Gilkey. And did you see what he put? Did you see that, Kyle? He
Yeah,
released his March Madness bracket and put us out on the first round. Of course you did.
yeah. Is Troy going to the Sweet 16?
Yeah.
Stupid science teacher.
Yeah. Okay, Gilkey. Let's try to get relevant again. Yeah,
And Tony,
just.
we did plan for him to shoot threes. We didn't plan for him to make 90% of them. I mean, what are you going to do? You can't stop that. He shot 19 threes and made like 15 of them. What are you going to do? Like, you can't stop that.
That's
Well,
yeah.
that is our Kentucky report. Let's move across the country a little bit. Tony, we already got one guy here rooting for your Badgers. What do you think out here this year? March Madness for your boys.
Well, I'm honestly really excited because I do not get to watch as much college basketball as I'd like. So I don't know any of the names of these players. I'm just basing this on jerseys. So I'm excited that I got 3 people who watch a lot of college basketball. Patty, Kyle, and Cody all watch a lot of ball. So I'm hoping you can give me advice, give me some winning teams. Wisconsin, I don't know, man. They did really good in the Big Ten tournament. They got to the Big Ten championship, and then they just missed a million shots, and that sits in my head a lot when I see the Badgers, and just scoring 55 points a game will kill you in a tournament. So they make me nervous.
Breaking news, since this is going to air on Thursday, Montana just upset Wisconsin. Sorry, Tony, but Montana upset Wisconsin. So,
But
spoiler alert.
it's also hard when you've played 5 games in 5 days
Yeah,
on that
they were
fifth
gassed.
day
They
to
were
have the
gassed.
legs to make all your shots too.
Yeah,
And it
but
says Montana is the ranked number 13 in shooting accuracy.
Ooh, so
in
we're
the
looking at a
country,
high
I
scoring
guess.
game. Wisconsin's averaging like 85 points a game this year. So that could be a high
Tony, these
scoring
If
game.
guys
Maybe
might
Badgers,
not be
over there.
scouting their opponent, but they're scouting yours.
I know. What is that about? What is that about? Let me tell you this
but
though.
everything else
I,
leads to Wisconsin winning.
I don't know. I don't know how far we're like going down the line, like what we're doing it round by round. But if Wisconsin did get to an Elite Eight versus Duke, I'm telling you that would get me as gassed up as I could be in this tournament. I hate Duke. I want to see Wisconsin beat Duke in a tournament game so bad. So that's my kind of one I
And
got
I want
circled.
that for you. I
Yeah.
want that for you. I do. Yeah,
Is
I could see
Flake
Duke going
playing
down.
or is Cooper Flake playing or not?
Yeah, I think they
He's
said he's coming back
supposed
for the
to.
tournament.
I think they'd be smart to just let him sit that first game. They don't need him to beat a
No,
16 seed. I mean, let him sit, get healthy. 2 more days could mean the world of difference for that ankle. Yeah, I don't
And for
know
the
what it
Sixers
looks
next
like
year.
right now, but I know it didn't look good when he went down that day.
it looked really bad. I thought it was
It was
broke. I
brutal.
did.
Yeah, I agree. I
I
was,
was,
I, I hate to say it, but I was kind of hoping it was.
yeah, I mean, me too.
Just
I'm not
throwing
going
it
to
out there.
lie. Yeah. Last time I wished
Well,
for injuries, Kevin Ware happened. So I was pretty happy about that. So,
yeah, well, Tony, to quote the great man Cody Gentry here, it's time to make a run, buddy.
Let's go.
There's
Justin
64
Montana.
teams that are saying that right now. 64 teams that are saying that right now. It's time to make a run.
There's
yep.
really about
Yeah.
like 48 saying that. There's 16 that know they're one and done right now.
I don't know anymore.
I don't
I
know.
mean, that UMBC gave some hope to everybody for the rest of our lives. You know what I mean? Weren't they the 16 seed
Yep.
that won a
Yep.
couple years ago? I mean, that was who'd they beat? Purdue? Am I
No.
remembering this right?
Virginia.
They beat Virginia,
Oh,
and
oh
then
yes.
St. Peter's
Virginia.
beat Purdue.
And then
Was St.
Virginia the
Peter's a
next year won the
15 or a
national championship.
16?
So I have a question for you guys. Like I watch a lot of college football, but like is the new thing with paying the players, is that affecting the
Abs-
league at all?
absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just look at
Interesting.
how good the SEC was compared to every other conference this year. That's where all the money lies,
Yep.
and that's
I
why
agree.
that conference was unbelievable this year.
And
So
you
like
But
get
in
a lot more
football,
you get a lot
basketball's a
more
game
player
where it's like an
movement.
individual sport, though. Like, you get a guy who goes 4 for 20, he can blow a game for you because he wants to be the
Yep.
superstar. Definitely, that happens
I
so
mean,
often.
Yeah, you can also throw an NIL deal to a guy for $7 million, and he can carry your team to a championship. So it goes
sure.
both ways.
But the prediction in football anyway is that because of the NIC now, that the Big Ten and some of the bigger cities like Los Angeles, New York, Philadelphia are going to have a lot more talent potentially in their pool, and the SEC is going to suffer. That's at least the narrative in football. Is that similar in basketball?
It's
The way
almost the
that I see
opposite.
the NIL affecting things in basketball is unlike football, where you're going to get drafted and you're going to make money right away. It's really hard to make the NBA, but you can be a very good college basketball player
Mm-hmm.
and fit your
make
role.
bank.
So I think what you're going to see is a lot of older guys like that was the St. John's formula this year, is like older guys transferring to these schools that have a lot of NIL money. So not necessarily that these schools are going to have more money, but I think you're going to see these older guys flux to the places that have more, talent. Like the formula of one and done is still going to hold true for the elite talent. But
Mm-hmm.
my prediction in the next 5 years in college basketball is the teams that are really going to be the best in college basketball are going to be those that bring in these fourth, fifth year seniors that aren't NBA players, but are really, really good college basketball players, and form kind of not super teams, but better college basketball teams than we've seen with freshmen on them.
I mean, that's
I
what
think,
Kansas does. That's Kansas's formula. I mean,
yeah.
they get they get the
We
seniors that
like,
transfer over, and they get
what is
out.
it? I think Pope hinted, he didn't say for sure, or one of his staff members the other day after the game said, we already have a transfer portal locked in for next year. I don't know how it happened, but there's already a transfer portal stud that said he'll come to Kentucky. So I'd say there's money involved in that, obviously, to commit this early. I feel like there's money on that.
And there's
Yep.
always room for a clutch. Oh, my bad, Kyle. Go. My bad.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, that you see that a lot now with all these coaches that change jobs. I mean, that's why Pope did it in Kentucky. St. John's did it with Patino. Like all these guys that are switching jobs and going to these other schools, they don't have time to recruit like they used to, and they can't anymore with the NIL deal.
Yep.
So transfer portal is the way to do it. And if you have deep pockets, that's how you're getting these players.
That's why you're
So
also seeing a lot of these schools take on GMs.
Yes.
and
Yeah, Steph Curry just did it.
a lot
Yeah,
of these
yep.
schools, clutch transfers. So like you're gonna see guys like these guys that are March Madness heroes that would just go to another mid major in the past. There's nothing stopping these schools with a lot of money saying, "Hey, we're gonna give you $500,000 to come play for us, rather than be a star on Bryant." Like I think about like that Doug Eater kid that was on St. Peter's a couple years ago. Like if that was right now, he would have gotten some money from a bigger program to come be a 9th, 10th, 11th guy. That's what's going to happen. He's like, you're going to see these stupid deep benches because of NIL more so than like buying a mega talent, I think.
Well, look what they just gave that AJ. I don't know how to say his last name. The one that is committing to BYU next year, the #1 player. I mean, I think he got well over. Well, I think what did I see, like
The
five
number
five
one
mil
player is
maybe.
going to BYU next year.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
That's crazy. All
AJ
right.
DiBiase, or I don't
Yeah,
know.
some DeBontes,
Yeah,
DeBiontes, something.
we'll go AJD. How about that? We'll just do
Well, I mean,
that.
that throws a wrench in everything you just said. If BYU's getting the top recruit out of everybody in the nation,
Exactly.
I guess
They
whoever
got
has the
that
most money, like,
They got that money, man.
old school money.
Yeah, I just that's my point though. Like you look at a smaller college town in a smaller area like Tuscaloosa, and you compare that to like let's just say, Ann Arbor, Michigan, and what they have going on. Like the money pool in Ann Arbor or UCLA or one of those schools is just got to be astronomical. Even the size of the schools are astronomically bigger.
I don't know
I
that
don't know.
that's necessarily the case. Those SEC schools, two things about them. Number one, they all got old money. And number two, it's not necessarily like the businesses and like the cities, the size of your market driving this. It's alumni. And all of these big schools have very rich alumni that care a ton about their sports programs.
yeah. And
And
another thing that's going to be
there's money
different
getting
between
poured in.
another thing that's going to be different between college football and college basketball for me is in college football, we're not really recruiting freshmen anymore. That unless you're the elite of the elite, you're Jeremiah Smith, you're these guys. In college basketball, what that's going to create is some very cool mid majors or lower teams in certain conferences because you take a team like you take a team like St. John's that's going to recruit. Patino has already said, I'm only recruiting the transfer portal. Usually that's a team that would take 3 or 4 freshmen from the New York tri-state area. Now you're going to take that talent and put it maybe not in a bigger school, but in a mid-major or somewhere you're going to get elite talent at the lower level that's younger and elite talent at the bigger level that's older.
Is anybody watching this play-in game right now?
Yeah, what a
Yes.
No,
banging
what is the
three.
score?
I was about to
Yes.
say it's tied with 30 seconds to go.
Tony's freaking out.
No, I'm not watching it. I
See,
don't got
he's
the
freaking
TV
out.
on. I want to.
You
If
don't
they
want to
win,
watch. You're going to
I
cry.
want to.
Alabama State's going to win at the buzzer.
It
Uh-oh.
is coming down to it. Well,
Nope.
everybody's giving their state of team reports. Patty, you don't have a Notre Dame report in basketball to give us. Do you have a state of your bracket report or anything you want to give us?
I
Yeah,
do.
Patty. Let's hear it.
I do. I am. So I actually heard this take the other day, and I really like it. So I usually fill out a couple brackets. I filled out one so far, and I forget who said it. He was on either ESPN or CBS, but he basically called it the 3 H's. You're gonna fill out a hurry bracket, which is the first one you fill out the night of. You're gonna fill out a head bracket, which is like the next day. You're kind of getting your head into it, and then you're gonna fill out a heart bracket where you want things to go.
I like that.
I think that my hurry and my heart kind of align a little bit close to each other, but we'll see. I haven't done the other two. I've just done my first one. But as I said pre-pod to those people that aren't in the Clashing Conferences group chat, which you can join if you join our network, is
Nice
I said
plug.
that 3 underdogs that I really like are I really like High Point against Purdue. I think they're
Yep.
playing some great ball. I think Purdue's not playing some great ball. I like McNeese State against Clemson. It's not anything against Clemson. I wouldn't be surprised if Clemson wins. I was on McNeese last year and they kind of disappointed, but they brought everyone back, as well as having game manager sensation Amir Khan on the
Boom.
sidelines for them, which is taking over right now. And the third one that I really like that I don't know that Corey's going to like to hear, but UC San Diego might be the best mid-major in the country right now. They are hot. They are almost the only mid-major that's close to that trapezoid of excellence that we've talked about. So I love those 3. And to get to it, my official endorsement for national championship is going to be the Texas Tech Red Raiders. I have been over them all year. They are going to have to come out of a hellish bracket with Auburn and St. John's to get out of there. But I think that Texas Tech St. John's Elite 8 game is going to be like the game of the year if it gets to that. So actually, I think that something that scares me with Texas Tech is I actually really like the team that they're playing as a 14 seed. I'm going to scroll down. Oh, UNC Wilmington, who can score, pretty well. But
There is
we dropped that.
serious play-in action going on live
But I'll
during our
officially,
episode here.
I will say this: if it's not Texas Tech, I think that the winner is going to come out of that side of the bracket. Whether I think Florida is legit, I think Texas Tech is legit. I don't think enough people are talking about Maryland. They have 2 bigs that can really dominate the floor and control the pace. And then obviously the 2 seed is St. John's on that side. I think that side is loaded. I think there's, this bracket offers a lot. I think there's obviously going to be some upsets that people don't see coming, but there's also some that like I think people are too heavy on. Like I like Drake against Missouri a lot. That's another one that I like.
Yep.
Everyone loves Colorado State right now for the way they've been playing basketball.
New
I'm on
Mexico
Memphis.
versus Marquette. New Mexico versus
I love New
Marquette. Does that
Mexico.
see New Mexico?
I don't know if I see them getting by Marquette, but I do like New
Nice.
Mexico's pace that they play. I'll probably take
Colorado.
the over for my capital gains in that game.
I like the Colorado State one. And they're
But-
like predicted, 56% to beat Memphis, I think.
Colorado State is a 12 seed is favored right now on most sites, which is crazy to me. I think Memphis, like I watched Memphis play. I like Penny Hardaway as a coach. I think their guard play is pretty elite. I don't think a lot of people know about their center is Dame Danger, one of my favorite names in college basketball because every time he touches the ball, they say it's danger time. And so I'm gonna ride Memphis, but a lot of people, like the opposite side of that. Kind of want to touch on what Mike said earlier before we get into anything else. Like, I know Cody's not gonna like it. I can't believe Louisville's the 8. I can't believe that they are gonna draw Auburn in the second round. And then a matchup that I think is gonna be phenomenal in the second round. Oh way.
Yeah, way.
He made it? Oh my god.
Oh my God.
What do we got?
Tony, that's not helping your capital gains, buddy.
No.
A matchup that I think is gonna be phenomenal in the second round is the winner of Gonzaga, Georgia versus Houston. I think that Gonzaga and Georgia both being lower 8-9 seeds is going to be a phenomenal second round matchup with Houston, and I could see them running that side of the bracket with some of those higher seeds like High Point and McNeese winning. So we'll see.
Hey guys, I'm gonna jump off. Appreciate you having me.
See you, Randy.
Thanks for
All
coming,
right,
Randy.
Randy.
Yep.
Go Birds.
Well, no.
Yeah,
Man.
Patty, you mentioned that bracket. I mean, Texas Tech, St. John's, Maryland, and Florida in that
Crazy.
bracket. And everybody's picking Florida to come out of there. I've seen so many people just think Florida's going to skate by and make it to the Final Four out of that bracket. I don't see that. I see Florida getting upset.
You
And I
know
can
who
see
see
that
that.
being Maryland.
the
I
other
can see
team
Maryland doing it.
the other team that I like that was an underdog, we were talking earlier about the underdogs that I like, is I don't know, I'm going back and forth because I like Texas A&M, but Yale is one of the most senior teams in the country. They have a forward, Mbang, who's very,
Classic
very good at
Jersey
shooting the
team.
balls and takes control of everything. I would not be surprised to see, again, this is going to sound crazy because we always pick underdogs, but I would not be surprised on that side of the bracket to see UC San Diego versus Yale in the second round for a winner to go to the Sweet 16.
I could see that. I picked Yale too. I picked Liberty
Cody
over
and Kyle,
Oregon
are you
too.
guys picking for real, like are you guys picking Kentucky to like win your brackets, or is there somebody?
Is that like a serious question?
I mean,
I
that's
would.
he just said the heart bracket. I mean, that's the heart bracket. You know what I mean?
Okay, so
You know,
what's your real bracket then? Who are you going
Uh,
with?
I make 25 brackets, so
And
like
25 of them have Kentucky.
no, not all 25. It's a mixture. There's I got Florida, Auburn, St. John's. I got one where St. John's and Kentucky meet in the championship, so it'd be like a Pope Patino reunion. Just why not? I think that would be awesome.
Okay, Mike,
storylines would be
here's my
epic.
question about your 25 brackets. 25 brackets, any single one of them, do you have them losing in the second round?
Or
Yeah,
first round?
yeah,
Okay, all right, okay.
yeah.
I would have guessed no. I would have guessed no to that.
Yeah,
So you
I got
just
the
have a
upset bracket.
bracket for every option, basically, like every 1, 2, or 3 seed winning, basically.
Yeah, I put it in the tournament challenge. It's $25,000.
It ain't that easy, Tony. The
Here's
odds
some
are like
fun.
1 in a billion of
Yeah,
Here's
getting
some
a
fun
perfect
You
variations
do
bracket.
a billion
that I've done over
tournament
the years.
You
bracket.
need way more than 25 tries.
Nick.
Here's some fun variations that I've done over the years. One, do a coin flip bracket. So just go through
Ooh,
top guys' heads, bottom guys' tails, run through the whole thing. And then the other one, my friends and I used to, have a couple of, extracurriculars. And we would pick our brackets based on which mascot would win in a fight. So
ooh,
you
that's a good
line
one
two
too.
Nice.
mascots up and pick the winner based on who would win in a fight to go to
I
the next round.
I like the heads and tails one. That's a good idea. I don't know why I've never thought of that, but that one I like that. I'm gonna do that. Thank you, Patty. Thank you.
Just
One
throwing
more
this out there that
bracket
the
won't
coach of
hurt. One
Alabama
more
State
bracket.
looks like Eddie Murphy,
He does look like Eddie Murphy.
Good call.
right? He looks like Eddie Murphy. Just throwing it out there. I'll post it in the chat for everybody.
Mike, who are you riding?
Top.
So one of my upsets, I got VCU beating BYU in the first round, and
Yep.
then I got VCU going to the Sweet 16. I think VCU is a tough team, and I think they got a pretty solid path to the Sweet 16.
That's Wisconsin.
I do have Kentucky losing to Illinois in one of my brackets in the second round. I also have them beating them in a couple of my brackets too. So,
Of course.
but I honestly, I'm on the Patty train. I have Texas Tech going to the Final Four in one of those brackets against Auburn. I have Florida going to the Final Four. I have
Yep.
Florida winning a couple because
Yep.
Florida looked tough over the weekend, man. They just looked really tough.
They looked really good.
They
Really
just
Yeah.
took
strong.
the gym
They
out.
Really.
looked like the best team in the nation.
They did.
They did. I agree.
And I hate to say that, but their guard play right now, they're knocking down shots.
What is it, Clayton? Is that who it right? Yeah, he's
That
bad.
big can shoot too. It's hard to play a team that slows you down when you have a five that can stretch the floor and
Yes.
he plays defense. It's hard to keep up with a team like that, which is
Yeah.
why I think their hardest matchup all tournament is Maryland, because they have those two twin towers down low that they're just stuffing the ball down to every play and slowing you down.
It's old school basketball. That's what it
Yep.
is. It's old school basketball. It's inside out basketball that they play, and they're hard to beat.
And I didn't
And I
know
know
squat about Maryland until they played Illinois, because I was all over Illinois early in the year. They have this guard, Kaspergitis, whatever. He's from like
Yes.
Latvia or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
He's very good. And I was like, oh, they're gonna take care of Maryland, and Maryland beat them by 25 on the road. They went
What
in
about-
Illinois and beat them by 25. Like I was like,
what about that 7'9" dude Florida has? I guess he don't play right now, but dude was cutting nets and not even having to get on the ladder.
yeah, the kid
He was
who's
just-
from IMG Academy.
Is
down
that
there.
where he's from?
Yeah.
Ah, that's a tall dude. That's
He's
a real tall guy.
7'9". That's
Yeah,
big.
that's what. At least that's what I thought it said. I
I'm
could
pretty
be
sure
wrong,
you're
but
right.
I'm pretty sure he's 7'9".
Yeah. He was definitely cutting down the net without a ladder. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like Liberty, and I'm not saying I don't like them. Just here's a little stat bug for the listeners. Oregon, under this coach's tenure, is 9-1 in the first round. They've only lost one game ever in their first round under this head coach.
Time
So
for
again, a lot of people like Liberty. I'm going to pick Oregon, but same with VCU. I agree with you, Kyle. If VCU beats BYU, they're going to Sweet 16. I just like VCU, or I like BYU's size a little bit more than I like VCU's skill. But both of those takes I definitely agree with.
I
Yeah, I
like
mean,
Wisconsin
VCU.
can't shoot 22% and make the Sweet 16. They're in trouble if they're shooting 40% from the field. Like, you know,
yep. Yeah, I mean, listen, my heart just wants everything to fall against Duke. So as long as Duke does not come out of that bracket, I'll be happy. I hate to say it though, they're looking pretty damn tough. And I don't see Alabama as a 2 seed coming out of there. So hopefully the only way that they get beat is by a team like Oregon or, you know, even if Tony's Wisconsin team beats them, I'll be happy.
Badgers, hello. Stop running past my team. You literally can say everybody else, hello. We fight
I
against
said they
Cooper
won't
Listen,
win if they.
Don't
I said
worry
they won't
about
win if they
that.
shoot
We will
40%.
fight against Cooper
I
Flagg
just
and
said
evil
that.
Duke. Don't worry. And you think
Oh, that's
VCU is
great.
going
it's
to
hard for
walk
me
through
to
that
ever root
bracket?
for
Get out of
Wisconsin
here.
after
Get
Yeah.
VCU
2015,
out of
buddy.
here.
So
Do you
Shaka
It's
do
hard
Smart
you
for me to
think
coaching
root
us
for
as
my
Tony
Kentucky
team
P.
now.
fans?
Get VCU out of here.
It's hard for me to root for Tony P when he likes Wisconsin and Marquette. He's like, I like everyone
Yeah.
from the state of Wisconsin. I like both these teams. Shut
Yeah,
it, Tony
two
P.
teams, and I'm getting it.
Tony, just eat some cheese and relax, buddy. Eat some cheese and relax.
Trust me, I'm
Make
about
yourself a
to
grilled
make
cheese
I'm
sandwich.
about to make some pizzazz for this North Carolina game. Like I'm about to do it big.
So
Go
Trust
have
me.
some fondue and calm down.
Yeah.
You're about to make
Tony,
some
don't you have to
what?
go like take care of the
Yeah.
emus
You're
you have outside or something like
you're
that on your farm? Like, don't you have to go
you're about to
outside
make
and
what?
tend to the emus?
Dude, if
What
I
did you
had
say
some
you was about to
emus,
make?
they'd be on this podcast right now. I'll tell you right now. Pizza.
No, dude. I'm scared to death of birds.
Yeah?
Like I'm deathly scared of birds.
Why?
Wouldn't be on here. Not
It's
me. No
because
way.
Louisville's mascot is the cardinal, and I hate cardinals, and therefore I hate all birds.
you you
The
remind me of
logic checks out, Patty. The logic checks out.
Yeah, I'll
you
take
remind
that.
me of the Birdman with that wig on right now.
Uh-huh.
What was the Birdman's real name? I don't even remember his real name.
Chris Anderson.
Chris
Chris
Anderson, yeah.
Somebody,
Anderson.
Yeah.
okay, yes, yes.
That was a bad dude.
It was
I,
a
Yeah, he was.
I, I
bad
loved
dude.
watching old Chris Anderson.
Dude had like barely any tattoos coming out of college, and then like 2 years in the
Boom.
pros, he was tatted all the way up and down, man.
We have
And I just saw
no more
that.
pro talk or the pod's
And I.
canceled. No pro basketball. That's why we didn't invite Karan. College
Hey,
Oh,
basketball
yep,
over.
yep, yep,
So
yep.
we're
I
Can't
wanted
do
to
it.
ask
canceling
you
it
guys
anyway
too.
when your
Yep.
capital gains get
Done.
crushed.
Done.
Yeah,
What
when
do you
Tony's
guys
UC San
capital
think?
Diego,
gains.
when UC San Diego loses on a buzzer beater to Michigan, this pod is canceled. Canceled.
Hey, who is the
Tony, what was your
biggest snub?
question?
Who did make the tournament?
Indiana. I
Indiana, you
mean,
think?
you could argue West Virginia too, but to me, it's
I was
Indiana.
gonna say West
Indiana had
Virginia, man. They got screwed.
Indiana had 4 quad 1 wins, 0 quad 3 losses. They have a win in Lansing, Michigan. In Lansing, Michigan, against Michigan State, who's been one of the best teams in the country this year, and they don't get in. I'm not that mad. I mean, obviously, I Carolina is a team that should have been out. I'm not upset that they got in, but Carolina 1-13 in quad 1 games.
Yeah.
1-13 in quad 1
A-
with a quad 3
AD needs
loss
to get
to
investigated.
Stanford. With a quad 3 loss to Stanford at home. You can't tell me that they deserve to be in. I'll root for them because I like watching that team play, but I mean that just their resume, it's crazy. And then I thought the funniest part, I don't know if anyone watched the CBS bracketology, but they brought on the director of athletics from UNC on
Yes,
bracketology to be like, how did
yes.
the committee selection go? Like
I
the
was out of the
director
room.
of athletics from
Yeah,
North Carolina.
yeah.
I
Did
think
you
he
hear
should
what he
get
said though? He was
investigated.
like, I was out of the room. Whenever the committee talks about a team that has a chairperson here, we're like, we send them out of the room and they're not allowed to hear it. I'm like,
I
come
don't
on.
believe it. I don't
But then
believe
he's
it.
sitting next to the guy that was the vice chair. Come on,
Yeah.
there's some shenanigans going on there, man. For sure. And listen, when North Carolina loses tonight and gets bounced, you're going to hear a lot more like, see, I told you they shouldn't have been in there. It should have been West
Capital
Virginia. It should
gains.
have been
Capital
Indiana.
gains.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I've
Sorry
got
about
capital
that.
gains.
Sorry, I got distracted by Eddie Murphy on my TV again.
Is he? Oh, he is there. There is Eddie Murphy. He does. He looks like a. Good Lord, that's rough.
I think the selection, they never talk about it, but I think the selection committee has to be also considering TV and how many viewers are going to tune in to watch a North Carolina game as opposed to some of those other
Yeah.
teams on the bubble. You know,
And why's the dude
Carolina's one
behind
of the
him?
most closely watched teams in the country. They're a blue
Not that
blood.
I would call
Yeah.
myself a hater, but that was Syracuse for me for 20 years. Obviously, they won the championship, and they had very good
Yeah.
teams. But there's some years where Syracuse would have like 12, 13 losses and get put in because people want to see Jim Boeheim and Syracuse play the 2-3 zone and make a
Yep.
miracle run.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
And I think that's why Calipari and Arkansas got in. I don't see how Arkansas got in. I don't.
A
Sorry.
lot of it's
They
about
beat us.
They play in the
storylines and
SEC. That's
money
it.
and TV ratings and who's going to get the most eyeballs.
I'm glad Xavier got in. I think they're playing some of the hottest basketball in the country right now. If they win their play-in game, I would not be surprised to see them take a nice stab at the 6th seed that they're playing.
And I hope that we get like a, what is it, second round where it would be St. John's and Arkansas. So it'd be a Patino Calipari matchup. I would love to see that.
Arkansas, Kansas, round 1.
Yeah.
Phil Self, Patino, round 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Arkansas beats Kansas. I do. But I don't think they get past St. John's at all.
Is there a bigger
No.
bust in college basketball over the last 3 years in transfer portal than Hunter Dickinson?
Oh my God.
Like people loved him coming out of Michigan, thought he was the second coming of everything. He had
ranked
done
number 1 in the
squat for them.
country this year.
Yep.
Yeah, I've never been happier that Kentucky did not get somebody
Right.
than by not
So
getting
soft. He's so
He is
soft.
soft.
him. Yeah.
Call him up. Never mind.
You can't.
Carry on. Yeah, we'll carry on. We'll go.
Yeah.
Yep. Got it.
Damn. I was
We all know it. We
I
all
was
know
thinking
it. We all
about
know
standing up for him at one point, and then you guys all like attacked, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna sit back quietly. I thought he was pretty
Yeah.
good. I don't think
No,
he
he'll
was
be
their
playing in
problem
Greece.
this year.
Look,
He'll be playing in
speaking of him,
Greece
he's
after
on the
he's done.
TV.
Yeah, I know. What the hell is that about?
He heard us.
I need Thursday to be here for my capital gains so bad. I just
So
need it to be Thursday already.
Yes,
that's
I need
kind of how I
Thursday.
want to close this out a little bit. We're 2 days away from this. I want to know, what are your plans? What are you going to be doing on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Are you going to be
Basketball.
locked into your phone, checking your capital gains? Are you going out with friends? Are you taking off work? Cody, does work even question you about what time Kentucky's game is?
Well, luckily, it's after work. But if it
Okay.
was during work, best believe I'd be off.
Okay.
I'm
All
not.
right.
Yeah, I'm not working
They
the Kentucky game.
they know that you're going to have that day off if something were needed.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I quit a job when I was a teenager because they tried to make me work Louisville, Kentucky Final Four game. What?
I didn't inform my boss until yesterday. I called my boss on Monday morning and was like, "Hey man, I'm sorry, I completely forgot to take these 2.5 days off that I want to take off on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday." And he was like, "Mike, you've been doing the same thing for 25 years. I didn't expect anything different."
You're like, you know what? Thanks, man. Thanks.
It's all right. I put it in for you. You're fine.
Yeah, I already got you.
Mike, I'd like to say a formal apology that I will do my best to be at March Madness in person next year. Unfortunately, I'm not going to make it down, but I'd like
What are
to.
you doing though, Patty? You're big. You're obviously going to be watching the games.
Oh, yeah. So this is what we do. I turn half the lights off in the gym. We're in our basketball unit for March Madness anyway. I turn half the lights off in the gym. I get the games going on my projector. So while I'm teaching, I got the games rolling in the gym. And then
What?
I'll have.
You're like the cool PE teacher,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
dude. Oh my God.
And then I'll have baseball practice like 3 to 5. So I'll probably have to miss a couple like an hour and a half in there, but I'll probably have it on my phone in the side of the gym. And then rest of the night, same plan for Friday, and just
Guy got me ready to go back to high school all
Yeah.
over
Yo,
again.
Can we get
So
like a
when
petition
I was
for
just gonna
Patty Teacher of the Year?
I was just
Can we
going to
get
go
like a
back to my 6th grade year. Me and Kyle's brother, Jim Montgomery, starting in the 6th grade, figured out that we could wire these headphones like this up through our sweatshirt, put a little iPod or something, whatever we had in our in our like sweatshirt here in the pocket, and then slip the wire up through our sleeve and just like sit in class kind of like this with our hand
Kids
over
today
our
will never
ear
know the
and
struggle.
listen to games in sixth, seventh, and eighth grade. I remember doing that.
I remember. Obviously
The
not,
struggle was real.
Mike, I didn't know that they had a handheld version of the record player back then.
We had something.
See that?
We
It's
I
called
don't
a
know what it
Walkman.
was, but we had
It was a
something that played
Walkman.
AM and FM radio, and
Yep.
you could get it on your. I think it was actually it was a Walkman. I
Yeah.
think actually you're right. The
Yep.
big yellow brick looking
Yes.
Yeah, good
Walkman.
old
Yep.
Walkmans.
Yep.
I went and I listened to the Final Four on my 8-track transistor radio in my 64 Chevy Camaro.
Facts.
Oh
Tony, what are
Lord.
you up to? What are you up to for the games?
Well, so Badgers, I'm excited that they're kicking it off. It's at 12:30, so I'm gonna go to the sports bar for that. My
On
dad's coming up and
Thursday?
watching that on
Yeah.
Thursday. Yeah, we're
Spoiler
first.
though, they already lost.
And Kentucky
Not
took the
sure.
championship.
They
So
better
Yeah,
not
they
lose
already
the
lost,
first
Tony.
round.
Don't worry about it.
We're go. Get out of here with that. Why are you putting that on me right now?
Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
Don't
you
not
put that curse
on
on me.
right now. Listen,
I mean, it's not looking
my
real good.
kids
You're
have been
0-1
killing
right
me
now.
as of late. I need a good run this year.
Well, I probably wouldn't pick Wisconsin for that. Just throwing that out there.
Don't go and lose
some
to St. Peter's
sheepdog.
again.
Hey, Patty, I wasn't even talking about your team. I was talking about Wisconsin.
Wisconsin's
He
a
had to
Hey,
go
great
we
throw
gotta
St.
give
tournament
you
team.
Peter's.
props
We
for being
got
a
a
cool
veteran
teacher.
coach.
Come on, man.
Yeah. I'm taking the Teacher of the Year petition
Listen, I'm
away.
just trying to protect everybody. You know, it's not Tony P's fault that he has to go tend to the goats during the Wisconsin games. But, other than that, I just want to see him be happy and you guys be
He got
happy.
those fainting goats, man. They already passed out from hearing him yell.
Nothing would make me happier than a Wisconsin Duke Final Four matchup. That would be, or
That's
That
what I'm
would
Wisconsin
be cool.
saying.
Kentucky, a Wisconsin Kentucky Final Four matchup for this podcast purposes would just be electric.
Yes, I'll take that. I would
It
take that.
would be for
Duke
this
to play
podcast
Kentucky.
purposes. I agree with that.
But,
Final four of St. John's, Louisville, Kentucky, and Duke, or Kentucky and Wisconsin is the Final Four. This podcast would explode.
oh
It
my
would.
God, I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
That would definitely help my capital
No,
gains fund too.
I gotta find a way to get UConn in there.
I mean,
I don't know.
I know I don't know either, but I gotta
As the
find a way.
once late great coach of Happy Gilmore once said, well, better luck next year.
I mean, you
Hey,
got
we'll be back
Hall
next
of
year.
Fame
I'm not
coach.
even worried about that. UConn will be back next year. I mean, they not like they missed the tournament or anything, had that bad of a year, but they
Yeah.
will be back on top next year. The recruiting class coming in is no joke.
Mm-hmm.
Hurley
I
is reloading.
I don't think they lose first round. I don't think he's going to let himself lose first round. I don't see UConn going past 3.
Mhm.
I don't think I have them going past 3. Sorry to say that, but
I
think
think
that-
I've literally picked against UConn every game
Well,
in the past
who-
2 tournament
who-
years, and they have never
Let's
Well,
see,
lost.
who
how
do
did
they
that work
play?
out for you?
They have
How did that
never
work
lost.
out for you?
That's not-
Because
they
last
have
year I don't
never
think
lost.
they won a game by less than like 20 points the entire tournament. They were
No.
destroying people last year.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's got to be my
Oklahoma.
least favorite SEC team because one day they lose by 25 and then the next they beat Tennessee at home. And then they go on the road and they win by 4 and you're like, "Oh, they're hot." And then they lose to LSU at home. I just can't get a read on that team. That's like the one team in
That's
the tournament I have
everybody is,
literally
though, in
no
the
idea
SEC.
what team's going to show off.
But that Fears dude, he's bad. He's a stud. I'll give him that.
Alabama.
Jeremiah Fears, I like him. No, Oklahoma.
Yeah, the point
The
guard.
point guard from
Yeah.
Alabama's a
Kyle, I saved you for last because I know your tradition. Tell these boys how we do it.
So we start off Thursday and Friday, right at noon. We'll be at PJ Willihan's, which is a big ass sports bar. And we'll be sitting in front of 37 TVs watching every single game possible, and reruns of other games. So, like I told you, Tony, spoiler alert, we already know Wisconsin's losing.
Out of control.
We'll be doing that, and we do that probably till what, Mike? Till the evenings on Thursday and Friday, and then Saturdays kind of we start the day off there, and then people start to kind of go their merry way, whether it's to the casinos or whether it's to watch more games or whatever else. But yeah, we've been doing that for 20 years now, so
You mean the
I don't
Capital
see that.
Gains Investment Center, not the casino, the
Yes,
Capital
yes.
Gains
Sorry,
Investment Center.
or in my case, the donation center.
Just make
Same,
So,
sure
same.
they know you're there for Kentucky. I need you to cheer for both of us. I
but
need
don't
you
worry.
to make sure they
Every
know.
Every year I wear my Kentucky gear.
He
I'm
does.
usually the only person there in Kentucky gear. So now, in spirit, I'm going to take a screenshot of your picture and I'm going to keep it on my phone and show people, look, there's more than one of us.
You take a
Or
screenshot
do
with
like they
this
do at
on there.
Cracker
Let's
Barrel.
go. Make sure you got this on
Cody, if
there.
Tony,
Kentucky wins the whole thing, I'll buy a chain from our sponsor with your face on it that has Kentucky colored grills. So it'll be your face,
Okay.
but it'll be silver and blue grills on the chain.
With this hair. I want this face right here. And then I'll do a little pose and then boom. You got it.
I'll buy one.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
buy one.
What if they
I
lose
think
in the
that's a
first
good.
round? Then what are you gonna do, huh?
Hey, don't throw that
Tony,
in the
you're
air.
breaking up, buddy. We can't
Yeah.
hear you. You're
Go
We
scared.
ahead and
can't hear
leave.
you, Tony. We're gonna
Go
end the
ahead and
show
leave.
here. I think that's a good moment to
Whatever.
stop the show. Kentucky's winning the championship. Cody's face is going on a hype chain. Everybody check out Lotwin. Get your own hype chain with your own face and your own team on it. You can do whatever you want with these guys. Check them out. We'll be back next week to talk about who actually did well on the first 4 days, not
Can't
only
wait.
on the court but in our brackets. We got an internal competition bracket for everybody on the
Oh.
podcast network. There's going to be a lot of bragging rights on the line. So let's go. Hope you guys enjoy your weekends. It's the best time of year.
Go Cats. Go Cats. Loserville sucks, and so does Wisconsin. Throwing that out
Yes.
there. Take a
Shut
home
your
run with
face,
that one.
Cody.
Kaboom!
Shut your face.
End
I'm
it.
frozen.
End it.
You
Right there.
can't think out. You get
Wow.
frozen.
Home run, baby.
Hold on, don't talk too fast. Mike has to inscribe this on his tablet stone, where he has like the easel and thing, writing it down. So he's like taking notes. Louisville, Kentucky, bang, Wisconsin.
None of this is we already ended the show. All this got
Nope, I
cut.
see the recording up top. You
It's
can't
Yeah.
lie
still
to me.
I'm,
going.
I'm
Can't lie
just
to me. That doesn't lie.
He's a teacher. You can't lie to him. That's the rules. That's the rules.
Bye, everybody.
see you guys next week.